Okay, we got three things we're going to focus on this week. Of course, play anything else that you need to or want to. But as far as what you and I are doing, it's going to be just these three things. So we talked about the whole working things up without the repeats and all that yesterday. So yeah, that's all up here just to remind you of what to do. And again, I'll send over a link to a video about how to practice your lessons. And if for some reason I forget to do that, that video is linked in my email signature. So it's there if you ever need to watch it. So this is what we left off with yesterday. And I mentioned if you are going to attempt playing at 180 after working it up without the repeats, if you're going to attempt 180, start recording. Start recording right away because you might get it and send it on over. Yeah, go ahead and keep going in the video too. Just keep going and see how fast you can get. So I'm going to demonstrate these things at some different speeds so you have a point of reference. So here we go with number 1, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4. $100. 1, 2, 3, 4. $140. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And good old 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one more at 200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeats at 180. And I'm just, again, just demonstrating things at different speeds. So just because I'm playing this at 180 or playing the repeats at 180 does not mean you need to. You do the repeats at whatever speed is good for you, like we talked about. You know, get it up as fast as you can, drop it down 10 to 20 beats per minute, and try doing the repeats there. If you can do the repeats at 180, fantastic. If you can do it faster, fantastic. If you need to do it slower, that's fine, totally fine. Just get to where you can get. If you can go faster than 200, hey, why not? That just opens the doors for more things that you can play. But anyway, here we go. 180 repetitions. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, number 2, which we did not look at yesterday because, well, we kind of ran out of time. So we're back to the eighth notes, and this is going to be easing into changing strings while you're playing. And I want you to start with the downstroke, okay? So we're going to be really focused on that. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, the entire time. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Even if it feels like starting with the upstroke is easier, we're not doing that right now. I want you to start with that downstroke because we're going to stay focused on something. Focused on this. So for this guy, goal speed of sending things early, 240. If you're about to attempt playing this at 240 before next week, start recording because you might get it, send it on over. And if you can go a little bit faster, go a little bit faster. But yeah, 240 is the goal speed for recording early. Here we go at 60. I'm going to move over this way a little bit so you can see how I'm angling the pick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure to end that with your index finger. This way you are set up for doing the repetitions after practicing this thing. So 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. 180, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Repetitions. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the down pick and stuff. Different palm mute pattern. As far as sending video in early for this, I would say 200 is a pretty good speed. But make sure you can do all 3 strings, and you're not cheating the speed by only playing 1 or 2 strings. So really focus on making sure you're hitting all 3 strings, okay? So here we go at the 60. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. One 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. One 60, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. $200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's pretty tough hitting all 3 strings at that speed. I don't know how fast I can go with this. Let's try 210. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember to breathe when you're doing this stuff. When you're like really pushing it and your arm starts getting fatigued, you gotta breathe. You gotta get that oxygen into the muscles. Try 220, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. $230, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn it! See, this is hard, really hard. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Woo! Yeah, normally a riff like this at this speed, people would just be bouncing between the root note for the palm mute and like the 2-finger power chord. Because that's way easier than trying that. So yeah, we're trying to push those muscles to keep up with things at that kind of pace. So here it is at 200 again with the repetitions. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's tough. That is tough. I really feel that. Them forearm muscles getting tired doing that. So let's do this. If you can hit, right, so I said if you get up to 200 with this, making very sure you're hitting all 3 strings. We can do an early video for this one. So send it in early to show that you got it. Well, let's push that envelope for this guy, because I know it's not just about speed here, it's about endurance. So be able to play the 180 4 times through. Try that. I'll play that now so you have so you can follow along. Yeah, see if you can do that. So one time through at 200 minimum. And then for the repeats, minimum of 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think you're writing down some notes with that whole, say, endurance pushing exercise. I'll recap that anyway, just in case it's helpful. But yeah, basically you set your timer, start with 10 seconds. The first 5 seconds are to get into place. So you hit your timer, and then whether it's down picking, alternate picking, whatever, you go as fast as you can until those next 5 seconds are up. Start the timer again, and do like hammer-ons, pull-offs for 5 seconds. So like up and down the scale, perfectly fine. Any kind of pattern that you really like, just do that for the full 5 seconds. And go as fast as you can, no metronome, because the longer the timer goes, the more you're going to slow down naturally. So after you do that, you increase the timer to 15 seconds. So again, the first 5 seconds are to get into place. And then you go for a full 10 seconds, pick as fast as you can. Timer goes off, reset it, start it again, get into place, and then 10 seconds of legato. And then you increase the time another 5 seconds. So now it'll be at, 20 seconds. So again, the first 5 seconds are to get into place, and then you pick as fast as you can for 15 seconds. And then you do the legato for 15 seconds, and you just keep increasing it. I don't recommend really going more than a minute, so you can kind of test yourself here. Again, this is not something you want to do too often. Maybe you keep increasing the time or the length of how you do it until you find that length of time that you really struggle to keep up the same beginning pace. So maybe once you get to the 20 seconds, you notice that for 10 seconds through, you're going pretty good. And then after that, you start to slow down. And then by the end of that, you've really slowed down. That might be just the place to go. Just kind of find that time length where you start off strong, but then you've definitely significantly slowed down by the end of it. So maybe that'll be 30 seconds in. So maybe for a 30-second run, you're doing really good, and then after 20 seconds, everything just starts to really slow down. You're like, oh my God, it hurts. That could be a good place to go. So just really ease into going longer and longer with that stuff. Just progressive overload. Just a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more when appropriate. Yeah, again, if you feel like any weird twinges, funny pain in the joints, don't keep pushing it. Take a few days off from it if that ever happens. Because pushing the muscle, good. Pushing the joints, bad. And I think that covers everything. So, any questions come up, let me know. And I will see you again next week.